We're back for another round with our mostly back control deck. And here we go. We're in the queue. Oh, okay, I guess the other people started a game just before I joined. It's like there is someone in here. Alright, here we go. This looks pretty good. We've got some removal, we've got some draw, we've got some stuff to go into. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of aggressive decks, so this does not surprise me too much. I wish that I had had a little more aggressive of a hand, but so be it. This will probably be a Burning Tree Emissary. No, anymore. Alright, drawing some more removal is good. I'd like some lands. I'm going to go ahead and make my opponent kill one of his creatures first. I'm saving the Victim by Night for something where it's more important, like, I don't know, Hell Rider or something. It's good to get the Devour Flushes out of the way first. Whew, our opponent is pedal to metal. Boris Reckoner? Frontline Medic. Frontline Medic is terrifying. I'm going to use Victim of Night almost certainly. I really want Sign in Blood to draw me some cards, but I just don't have time for that. So for sideboarding, I'm going to go ahead and ditch Tamio. She's obviously too slow for a really aggressive deck. I'm opponent did not sold on. I will go ahead and kill that. Again, I want to draw lands, but I just don't have time to stop and do it. Maybe I should have done it then. That may have been my best shot. I'm going to put Mutilates in as much removal as I can. This deck normally does not have so much trouble with lands, but sometimes it happens. 2, 3. Alright, we're not dead if we cast this. We're just close. And we're pretty much dead if we don't. So, there are lots of things our opponent could have that would just kill us. Hell Rider, Lightning Mauler, a lot of things with haste, for example. Alright, Zingstria does it. So, sideboard. Hopefully this will help. One nice thing is our opponent did not see too much of our deck. Tragic Slip is good. Gloom Surgeon, Mutilate, Sever the Bloodlines, maybe Golgari Charm, we'll see. These three are all out, too slow. Nocturnus, I'm sorry, but we need to be... actually, Sign in Blood is probably worth cutting. $58, let's put in Curse of Death's Hold or Golgari Charm. Or Dispel. Dispel is actually interesting with the burn. Let's do Golgari Charm and see how that works. Our opponent had lots of X1s. Yeah, I'll play first. Alright, got a couple of removal lined up into a Vampire Nighthawk. Nighthawk is a great creature to have. 3 removal may be enough, we'll see. The biggest problem would be if our opponent got into some really degenerate Burning Tree Emissary chains. There's not a lot we can do about that. The only reason it would have been worth taking damage to keep that open is for like the vampire, which or experiment 1. That's fine. I can sure Tragic Slip now. Is it worth? Yeah, it's probably worth just using Tragic Slip over and saving the more utilitarian removal. Keep going back to the game of needing to draw lands. That's why I should have kept Tragic Slip. That's unfortunate. Thankfully, I've got this Abrupt Decay, but it would be better to keep Tragic Slip over one of the Victim and Knights because of this. All right, you're not a vampire. Kill you. Come on down. Let's do something here. Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and Nighthawk. If our opponent attacks, I'm not going to block. I'm going to take the damage just because the lifelink could potentially be more in the long run. And if he wastes a burn spell on it, so be it. Alright, that looks like what this is. Yep. It's okay. I kept a Victim Knight. I'll use that next. Alright, I will play Victim a Knight now. That prevents Mayor from flipping, so I can sever him next time if I need to. So, Sever would kill Experiment 1, which is otherwise a pain to kill. Bloodline Keeper lets me start getting some stuff onto the board. I'll play Bloodline Keeper and be willing to trade, I think. But yeah, play Bloodline Keeper and see how it goes. Otherwise, 2 Bloodline Keepers is a very, very good way to flip both very quickly. So I will at least consider taking damage depending on what happens here. Not willing to take that much damage. 369. Actually, no, that would not be 9. I could block Flint Hood 4 if it was giving hits. Block it safely. So I take 6, go to 10. I think I do. That'll let me start generating blockers every turn, and they're 2/2s, which is not irrelevant here. Oh, now I wish I had not. Okay, I've got 3 swamps, so enough to kill all of his stuff, but not and mine. So I will attack with this, I guess. Yeah. This is good though. Yeah. What, 2 for 4? Thankfully that works even around Experiment 1. We have to worry about things like Thundermaw Hellkite, which would be frankly terrifying. But our opponent is at top decks and does not have double mana. That last card in hand could have been a Hellkite. We shall see. Still cannot get past me. That is nice. I think I want to Surgeon to have a nice blocker. Alright, so Thundermaw Hellkite would not kill me outright. It does get scared. Alright, Nighthawk is good. I probably should have milled my opponent at the end of the turn, but really this did not look like a mill game. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of damage in. Like I was saying, it looks like a damage game. Trying to keep Sever up if I can, although getting close to Italian and stuff is scary. Opponent doesn't seem to be drawing well, which is a nice thing. Alright, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We get to flip this turn. That is super good. Can also Liliana if we choose to. First things first. Let's go ahead and start gaining some life. This leaves 2 blockers back. I think I'm okay with that. Okay, our opponent resigned because of the Lord of Lineage. Alright, I think this is still the best version we've got. Alright, we've got Abrupt Decay, we've got Devour Flesh. We're close to Bloodline Keeper. I think I'll keep. Our opponent mowed down to 5. Good to see things work in our direction. Of course, our opponent is on the play, which is good for super aggressive decks, but maybe your opponent will run out of gas because of the kind of 3-card deficit, at least 2.5 card. Near Heath Pilgrim, I will Victim of Night it because I want to keep the other 2 options. I could have held it back and hoped our opponent would like enchant it or something, but I don't think that's our opponent's plan. I think it would be more likely that our opponent would have something like Brimstone Volley or something which would punish us for waiting. So I'm going to go ahead and do that on our main phase. Alright, our opponent's taking a bit. There's plenty of time on the clock though, so it's okay. So they, as of 2 hours ago or something, they announced that slivers are going to be in the M14 set. I think that's pretty cool. I've got slivers in my paper cube, so I definitely like playing with them. They are one of the most loved and hated tribes in all of Magic. One change that they made is slivers used to give benefits for all slivers. Oh, okay. Our opponent has lost connection to the games. Our opponent's just basically given up most likely and is just trying to waste her time. Anyway, I'm going to finish what I was saying and then I can pause it if we want. So slivers used to give an ability to all other slivers, including itself, or to all slivers rather. Now it just gives an ability to slivers you control. Okay, our opponent did come back. It was just a disconnect. It would not have surprised me if our opponent had just quit. All right. So I will Devour Flesh and save Abrupt Decay. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think so. Most of our opponent's deck is on the cheapo. Next turn we've got Mutilate or Bloodline Keeper. That's nice. Maybe I should have actually saved the removal just to get extra value from Mutilate, but I didn't want to risk anything. I will probably wait and not hit a 1/1 though, so I will Mutilate loses value after I play Bloodline Keeper. Actually, I'll go ahead and play it now. I like the rest of my hand. I'll take Mutilate as a 1-for-1 versus a 1-drop. It is nice to feel that you can just like play a removal spell every turn. Like last game, it felt like I really shouldn't win with so few not drawing lands. It's unfortunate that our opponent's not this time, but you know, it goes both ways. All right. Let's see if our opponent has a removal spell. 3 damage. 3 damage, Searing Spear. Alright, so we've got plenty of time to draw onto another. We've got a Gloom Surgeon to drop on the board in the meantime. I'll go ahead and do that because he can block pretty well. And now we finally have enough mana up that we can have the option of doing that as well. Alright, so our opponent finally got there. I could Dimir Charm myself and try and put something important on top, but I think I'd much rather have it as a removal spell. That's 3 or less, that's okay. Gonna go ahead and kill that now. May as well. It doesn't affect whether or not our opponent will attack, I don't think. Alright. Let's go ahead and get on the aggressive. Our opponent could definitely drop something and give it haste, but that's not the worst when we've got 2 removal spells in hand, one of which is likely to work. Alright. Do you Soul Bond? Yes. Okay. Boris Reckoning is actually not terrifying because of the it's so far from getting Battalion. So I'll probably keep the Abrupt Decay around. Yeah, I think it's worth dropping it to make sure that does. It's obnoxious though, so yeah. Yeah, because it was going to make the spell not work because he would no longer have 2 or less power. Okay, we don't quite have 7 lands, but we're very close. Again, our opponent's Boris Elite is far from doing a ton, so I'll save the Sever. Alright, I'm glad I saved the Sever. Now we get to kill 2 Boris Elites. That I'll probably pull the trigger on and do. With 1 more land, we get to recast it again anyway. And we got the land anyway. So we've got Sever. Gonna go ahead and attack with the Surgeon. The Surgeon could easily go all the way. Our opponent almost certainly does not have board wipes, so let's go ahead and stack the odds here. Something else. Pacifism, that's interesting. Not enough, but it's not the worst. Wow. Chump blocking my Gloom Surgeon. That's impressive. Oh, I would like to have that Nighthawk, but that's okay. Alright, that I will sever, I think. Or I could Golgari Charm the Pacifism. Let's go ahead and do that. Maybe our opponent will play another frontline medic or something. You never know. We can just block the frontline medic if we want. We've got a ton of cards in our deck, and we're willing to mill them for Gloom Surgeon. What does our opponent have? If this is Searing Spear, probably should have happened before combat. Oh. Double Strike. Okay, you want to mill us for 6. That's okay. You don't have Trample. So we've got a bunch of crunch of exiled cards now. A couple more vampires, some lands. I guess our opponent's Boros Charm was not likely to do much more, although that's not a ton. Sever you? You have no cards in hand. Alright, so we win this one. Yeah, so this deck can get there. It's pretty interesting. We haven't been seeing Night Veil Specters, which is interesting.